The holidays can feel extra stressful. It can bring up a lot of different emotions and different things around food. They can do this for anybody, and I think everybody has different things that come up around the holidays around it, like, those cookies, let's see, did I get one extra one, or should I have a couple more, or, there's all these things when you have something in your system going on that is being extra reactive to stuff, or even to an extent of living with a feeding tube, and having complete supplemental nutrition. There is a huge spectrum of things that people can eat, from having an allergy to one or two things that can be extreme or mild to having a feeding tube. So I was in the middle of this. I had a lot of allergies to many different types of food, or a lot of intolerances to many different types of food. And it was definitely a process that me and my family got used to accommodate for what I could eat on the holidays. And luckily, I have a very supportive family, and I've had very supportive partners over the years who have helped me to get through these times when you're smelling all this wonderful food, and you're seeing all this wonderful food, and you're, hearing everybody around you saying like, oh, this is so good and everything. So these are some things that I did to help me through the holidays. So my family we would kind of talk about what it was that was going to be made for a holiday meal, and then we would pick out things that I could eat that was in that. And it was mainly, for a long time, I was eating meat and leafy green cooked vegetables. That was like broccolis and cauliflower. That's not green, but there's green cauliflower, I guess. But I was eating mostly vegetables and meat, and that was it. No starches or anything. So we would do like a little bit of spices on it. That would be like the day when, like, maybe I would have like a piece of dark chocolate, and that would be my treat, because dark chocolate, even 100% baking chocolate, was something that would still be something that was a little bit reactive to my system, even just for a couple bites. So there were like a few things I would be extra diligent about making sure the things that I would have in the days leading to it were very, very mild foods, things that would not irritate me whatsoever. And then on that day, have something that felt like it was like a treat to me. And then as the years went on, like, I had the fluctuation and things that I was reactive to. And over the past few years, I have been able to add in a lot more foods into my diet slowly. And so during that time, for example, for my birthday, my dad every year would make me chicken pot pie, minus the chicken in the last few years. But it was gluten free, it was dairy free, and he would come up with a version of it that was something that I could eat. And actually, this year, my mom made me one for my birthday that was gluten free and dairy free. It was so good. And 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 there were like little things, like putting, this might sound silly, but I think most people experience putting something in a fancy glass kind of makes you feel like it's more special. Um, or putting something, having a fancy place setting, and just like kind of having that would kind of help to make you feel like, even though your food was pretty much, or my food was pretty much the same thing that I would eat on a normal basis, with maybe like a little extra here, or making a few different more options of things. I guess that's another key point too, is that not having a lot of energy to make stuff. It was kind of just every day, just on the grind of like, okay, what do I have the energy to put into this every day? So my family would be very helpful and extend their help in saying like, oh, well, we can make like a couple extra vegetables and a couple extra sides, and and just add those into this. And so they would do like a little bit more work with them. You know, you can caramelize things in a certain way and cook them slightly differently and they become different. Whereas like my everyday food was, what can I make the quickest? What is the easiest thing? Because I'm cooking 3 meals a day. So, and I'm very low energy. So what is it that I could make that's going to be quick and easy and give me nourishment? So on the holidays, it was a little bit more intensive stuff. I think after a few years, you just, at least I experienced just kind of just being like, okay, if I eat this food that I eat on a normal basis and I just continue eating it on a day that's a holiday, like my body doesn't know today's Christmas, today is my birthday, like it's going to digest differently. Like, no, it's still going to digest the same way, and I'm still going to feel the same way after eating food that is not going to be the best match for my body. It's going to make me feel sick. So I realized that like I would much rather not feel sick after a meal and be able to experience maybe a few more hours of time with my family than I would before I would have to go lay down or something. Because I had Lyme disease for 14 years, I would get very tired after spending sometimes just 20 minutes with a bunch of people. So I would weigh out my options and say like, okay, what's the most important thing to me, and just go with that. And I think I kind of realized, like, I think there was a little bit of a sense of feeling numb to like the smells and the food around me and seeing the food on the plates around me. And then there was also that definite feeling of, okay, I've done this many times where I give my body something to eat that is not gonna make it feel good, and then I experience the consequences of that for days afterwards, sometimes weeks. It depended on what it was, because eating something one day can bring down your system a lot, and then I would experience that for a long time afterwards. So I think also having people on social media, having some friends in my personal life, like my life that I would see, I guess, that they also experience this stuff, and talking with them and sharing ideas about different ways that they make things, and things that makes it feel a little bit special, a little bit different than other days. And also, like, what was really cool is that like my family started eating a lot of the stuff that that I would make, or that they would make as like an extra thing for me. And actually now we eat like such an array of vegetables. Like last night we had Christmas Eve dinner, and it was a whole array of different vegetables that we had, and a bunch of different kinds of breads. My mom started making these gluten-free muffins, or dairy-free muffins, that are so good. And it's been kind of funny just seeing like people go like, oh, this is actually okay. Last year my mom made this chocolate cake that, well, she makes this chocolate cake for me every year. It's a German chocolate cake. And last year it was like perfected. and and everybody liked it, even people that are a little bit more picky. It did not have as much sugar as the recipe called for, and it didn't have dairy, it didn't have gluten. It was just like very basic and very cocoa-y, 100% cocoa-y. And it was just, it's been really cool watching like people's tastes and ideas around foods change with it. So there have definitely been some positives to having this, and I think always finding the silver linings in what it is. And then people ask questions when you're sitting at the table and they're seeing what you're eating, and I stopped feeling self-conscious about that. It kind of turned into like, oh, this is an opportunity to have a conversation about something that might not have come up if, you know, if we weren't sitting here like this. And then again, people asking if they can try certain things, and things that they maybe would never have tried, and actually changing like conceptions around what does gluten-free mean, what does dairy-free mean, because there are a lot of things in life that are gluten-free and dairy-free in normal everyday American foods, and people just don't put those labels onto it because, like, Oreos, for example, are vegan. But like, if you said, hey, would you like to try a vegan cookie, somebody might go like, ooh, no thanks, I'm good. But then you hand them an Oreo and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just the label that comes with it. So I don't know. It's definitely a lot to process. It brings up a lot of emotions when there's holidays and food going on. And just know that if you're going through this, or if you know somebody that's going through this, to support yourself, to support them, just show them extra love, show yourself extra love, whatever it is, and know that you're doing the best thing for yourself. And that's all you can do, and support your body, and you're feeling good when you're eating something that's feeling like it's in alignment with what you need. So be proud of yourself. All right, well, happy holidays, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Give me a like if you like this. Please comment what your stories about holiday eating, or eating in general, when it comes to groups, are like, and I'd love to hear about that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.